Hey, this is Sam here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I'm going to show you how to make delicious air fryer pull-apart bread rolls. They are absolutely delicious. They are so easy to make it in the air fryer and they're fantastic for the holidays, family gatherings, or just for something different to make your sandwiches for your next picnic. So this is for making the dough for the air fryer. Obviously I'm starting with the bowl with the flour and the soft butter. I recommend salted butter. Because otherwise it can taste a bit bland. And then add in some salt and pepper. And then in the meantime, what you can do is you can warm up your milk and your oil. You only need about 30 seconds to make it lukewarm. Do it for too long and then it'll end up killing off the yeast as it cooks. So then once you've got all those ready to go, it's time to rub the fat into the flour. I find it's easiest the softer the butter is. And then bury the butter, as then you don't end up with the sticky butterness all over your fingers. And then you want to rub the fat into the flour until it resembles breadcrumb. But have a little patience because it can take a few minutes for this to happen. And then give it a shake to make sure that you've rubbed all the butter into the flour. And then it's time to add in your yeast. And then you want about 2 teaspoons of the yeast. 2. And then you're adding in your oil and your milk. Add it all in there. And then you can use a wooden spoon to do this, or you can use your hands, or you can add it in gradually, whichever you prefer. I prefer to use a wooden spoon. It mixes it up really well and it's much quicker. Whereas Dominic, being the chef, would be more gradual. And then once you've done this, giving it a starting mix, scrape it off the wooden spoon so you're not losing much. And then I recommend that you have some extra flour available. Flour your hands and then it makes the process so much easier. And then you want to gradually mix it all together and make sure the liquid is nicely mixed. And as you can see, it's coming along nicely now. And you can flatten it out like that, because then I find it easier if you flatten it out like that, push it down, turn it, you can grab all the last little bits of flour that was stuck at the bottom. So you have that gorgeous bread dough. Wow, I love bread dough in the air fryer. So that's your bread dough for the air fryer. So can make it into a nice ball and then it's ready to be used in the air fryer, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant for something simple and cheap that you can make in the air fryer, and then you can transform that into using for baking bread rolls. So this is the silicone cake pan that we use for when we're doing pull apart bread in the air fryer. We use it for so many other things as well, but I'm just using that as an example. So just have that out ready, and then if you're doing it to 8, I find the easiest way. You can weigh them all out so that they're absolutely equal, but most of the time I can't really be bothered to. Get each one of them, set each one of them into 8, and then same on the other one. So then you've got roughly the same, and then you'll notice some of them are a little bit bigger, but that is fine. So then you've made them, put them up. And then add a little bit of flour. It just makes it so much easier for making them into balls. And then you want the balls like that, and you just start loading them up or you can actually make them into smaller balls if you wanted. You could transform this recipe so that instead of 8 balls, you have 12. It's just totally up to you. And then I normally put a bigger one in the middle there. And then the final one in this gap here. Oh, that one's way too big actually. I'm just going to take some off it. We can rearrange. This is why, if you prefer, you can weigh them out, and then you can weigh the total weight and divide it by 8. But you know, most people can't be bothered to do that, so it's totally up to you which way you go about it. It's as long as you've got your balls in there. So let's take a little bit off that one, and there you have it. And those are your pull apart bread rolls. They're ready now to go in the air fryer. At this point, we're not cooking them. We're just proving them in the air fryer. So in other words, we're cooking them at a very low temperature in the air fryer. And this will help them grow in size before we actually cook the bread rolls in the air fryer. So now I've cleaned up the worktop, and then these are ready now to go in the air fryer. So for proving in the air fryer, it's so simple. The same rule would apply if you were doing a loaf or if you were doing another shape. I'm just demonstrating it with our favourite pull apart bread. So turn on your air fryer. You're looking for a time of 30 minutes. And then you're looking for a temperature of 75 Celsius. The note, this is what's really interesting here, is if your air fryer's been on for ages and it's got natural warmth in there, you could leave this bread in there for an hour without actually turning on the timer temp, and it would prove it. And we've beeped. So now, that's what they look like now. They've already risen. If you prefer them to be a lot bigger, then you can do the same again. But I'm quite happy with them like this. What we did once, which we talk about in the cookbook, is we once left them for way too long and totally forgot about them and left them in the warm air fryer. So if you just kind of left them now, left the air fryer closed, didn't get them out and do the egg wash yet, and left them there for half an hour, they will double again in size. And that's what we did when we were making the actual cookbook, to get them the full size. So it's totally up to you how you want them. Then pop them back in, and we're looking for a temperature of 180 Celsius, that's 360 Fahrenheit, and then a cook time of 15 minutes. And then press start. And we've beeped. So let's check on that pull apart bread. And wow, there it is. Perfectly golden pull apart bread in the air fryer. And as you can see, it's formed perfectly well together, and it's just ready for serving now, and it's just perfect for your next bowl of soup. So this is the bread rolls that we've made, and I've just allowed them enough time to cool down enough so that I can touch them. And here they are. As you can see, they look absolutely fantastic. And oh wow, look at that dough, doesn't it look lovely? It's just asking for loads of butter to be added. And I've made this so many times, and you can just see how well they pull apart. And then of course, when you empty it out, as you can see, it's really easy to clean as well. Oh, and isn't that amazing? I cannot believe how easy they are in the air fryer. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.